Well, I don't know if you can hear this at all, but this sound is what I came home to in Stoughton, Wisconsin on Sunday, August 12th. I don't know if you can hear it over the wind. I'll keep the video going for a little bit. It sounds like a race, like at an Indianapolis 500 raceway, only like many, many miles away, and it's coming from the sky. To wait till some of the background noise goes down, and there's lots of birds in the foreground too, so and the wind's blowing a little bit, but not enough to make that sound. Also give you a little glimpse of the farm here. There's soybeans out in the field. sound, if you've noticed, has gotten significantly louder. I'll try and enhance it later on, put a clip on with just the sound. Pumpkin patch, and potatoes and onions. Property line and our neighbor's garden. A little fungi action there. There's a curly willow. The sound is still going on in the background, very lightly now though. Walking toward the garden, the fire pit, which never gets used. The chair is permanently inside the circle so we can mow the lawn. Some cannas. And here's the garden. We've been away for a week, so probably a ton of stuff has to be picked. Some green tomatoes. In the same row we have cucumbers, which look like they're pretty well dead, although I think they got quite a significant amount of rain. I don't know what's in the middle there. We'll walk inside. The beans, there's 2 stacks of green beans and then yellow beans in the middle, although one of the vines has decided to produce some yellow and some green beans. Some gladiolas, all facing in the wrong direction. And some more tomatoes here. There's cherry tomatoes, and yes, once again, we didn't prop them up in time. The sound actually is really strong right now too. I did walk, when I showed you the soybeans, I did walk underneath the power lines, thinking that perhaps the sound was coming from there, but it was still coming from the general direction of the air. And this is our force field protection for the ton of rabbits and deer that are running around on the property. So this is for the beets, and they look actually really good. Coming over here to the southern edge, and we've got some more gladiolas. This one's green, and the one behind it is a pinkish color. and some carrots and a variety of peppers. And the cabbage is over here, right in the middle. And we got a little rhubarb down here, which I think is over with. I can't, some wives' tale or something that you can't eat it after you've gotten a couple harvests because it's poisonous, but I'll check into that. There's a nice gladiola here, purple and yellow. You can hear some regular car noises in the background, but the sound is not like a car noise, but a car noise that's like 100 miles away. Walk over here because we have one unique little feature in our unruly garden, and that's the native Wisconsin cactus. It actually bloomed this year. There it is. And my mom's always like, oh, take it out of the garden. I'm thinking of transplanting it, but it's actually done really well here. And some flower pots for the person that took care of the house to all water at one time. I never can remember what this pump right here actually was part of the original house. There was a windmill on top of it. And we had dry wells that were only about 10-20 feet deep. These are all leaning over because they're pretty heavy. Panning over to the west again. And I don't know if I can zoom in enough here, but there's a grove of dead aspens, which my brother transplanted over there. They don't seem to have a very long lifespan here. They only last maybe 10-15 years, and then they all die this same exact way. That's them. It sounds like cars are going around on an oval, and it's accelerating when they hit the straightaway. That's what, it's very bizarre. The trees on the northern edge of the property are all actually not that old, because most of it was taken down about 10 years ago during a huge cleanup effort. They've all grown back, as you see. And the property goes back another probably 8 acres past that to the Yarra River. And that little blob of weeds in the middle of the field is actually the base of the cable television tower, which is the reason why we came here to Stoughton 40 years ago. Maybe a little bit longer than 40 years ago. And my dad owned and was part of the company, Viking Media, that was formed here, which was, I think, one of the first cable TV franchises in the United States. Stoughton is in a very shallow, very huge bowl, and we're at the bottom of it, and we never got any television signals, and so they thought this would be a good market for cable TV, since no one could get any reception unless you built a really tall VHF, UHF antenna onto your house. And that's all. I'll kind of let you know how long the sound went on, because it's still going on right now. One more pan out. front of the property. Here's our gas tank and the huge tree that fell last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago actually. Went down in a thunderstorm, hit by lightning, and it actually shaded this entire backyard. It was deceptively, I'll show you how big the trunk is here. It was a maple, sugar maple or soft maple. Actually graciously fell away from the gas tank and actually took up this entire area that you see here that's green. That's how large the diameter was. Oh, there's deer in the back, but I don't think I can zoom in. There's a mom and a dad and a couple fawns, but they're kind of big right now. And when I first came home too, there was it was either a beaver or a groundhog. He had a flat back tail, but he was wandering around the backyard. Most of these animals all come to the bird feeder at some point during the day, including some turkey vultures, some turkeys. The deer come up here. We also have a nesting pair of sandhill cranes that had a baby, and the baby's almost as large as the parents now. They come back every year. There's the air conditioner. Don't want to. No close-up of that. Flowers. We call these phlox, but I think they're known by some other name right here, the purple ones. More the yellow. And our only very sad birch trees, which have taken many years to mature. They've been there for about 8 years or so. They never seem to really, they have a hard time in the winter. I don't know if it was the right variety to plant here or not. We'll pan around to the front here. What you see here is those two pipes are the drain field for the septic tank. The other part is over here by the, there's the cover,